Is MrBeast a narcissist? After having managed over 1,500 YouTubers, I can tell you for sure that I know the answer. But it's not what you expect. It's a little more complicated than you might think. How's it going, everyone? Hero Gaming, and today I'm going to answer the question, is MrBeast a narcissist for uploading a video where he did charity and helped blind people see, even if that video gave him money? Now let's get started. So what are the advantages of MrBeast uploading such a video? Now right off the bat, we can see that he's going to get a lot of exposure for this, which is a good thing for him, right? He's getting a lot of views, a lot of money in return. That's always a positive. What else? Well, for the older ones of you, you're going to realize that, oh, this is something he did a lot of charity in. And what we know about charity is you can usually write off a good chunk of it. So for tax purposes. So this video could help him get some tax write-offs. And then, of course, he's going to feel good about himself because, well, you know, he did a good thing. So, of course, after you do a good thing, usually you feel good about yourself. Now, another benefit for him could be, whether he truly believes it or not, it could be a political move, right? It could be doing something that would politically catapult him, where he becomes, for lack of a better term, invincible in the political eye, so that if, you know, he was to one day, God forbid, be canceled, he would have all this kind of cannon fodder there for anyone that was trying to cancel him. It's like, oh, I've done all this good. However, let's look at the bad side. Well, among the disadvantages of uploading this kind of charitable video is usually you don't actually make as much money as you think on it. Because he uploaded a charitable video, it wouldn't look right for him to actually make any money off of it, so that's why you saw him giving away the 80 grand Tesla, you know, expensive car, a lot of money, going internationally, sending his team around, and it costed him a bunch. And believe it or not, MrBeast is not immune to the YouTube algorithm, so there was no guarantee that this video was actually going to go anywhere. And I only say this after consulting for at least a couple, I'm not going to say a couple thousand, a couple hundred YouTubers, but it's over 1,500. Now, this can be seen as controversial as well, so that's a big downside for MrBeast. Why would he want some controversy? You know, the controversy could really hurt his views considering how polarized the world is today. So that's not in his benefit. By doing this, he actually showed us something about the American system and quite a bit about the international system. So this surgery he mentioned in the video took 10 minutes and it cures half the blindness in the world. But then you have all these governments around the world that act like they care about their people, but they're not willing to give them this. Right? It's a very simple procedure, very, very safe. And even in some of the tougher cases he showed us in the video, there wasn't a 100% chance of success. However, he took that chance and it worked out in the end. Now, and finally, this video took the place of one of his main channel's videos. Now, MrBeast, as most of you might know, already has a philanthropic channel. So why would he post this video to his main channel and not to his philanthropic channel? So what we know about the current YouTube algorithm is, had he posted that video on his YouTube philanthropy channel, it might have done just as well, right? So usually what you hear a lot of the big YouTubers say is sub count doesn't actually matter. It's more about the kind of video you upload and the kind of audience that'll watch it. So that takes me back to the question I asked in the beginning of the video. Why? And what does that make MrBeast? Well, what we know about Jimmy, MrBeast, is that he's actually a fairly young man, right? He's only 24, 25, and he's been able to achieve this great success. He has a net worth of over $1 billion. He was actually offered $1 billion to buy out all his channels, and he denied it, which means that his belief is that insufficient. So here's the gist of it. Having worked with a lot of large YouTubers, the biggest of which had around 30 million followers, I can tell you MrBeast is like any one of us. To deem him good or bad does not actually provide him the value he deserves. MrBeast is a man, and he can do a lot of good as well as a lot of bad. Now, the fact that he chooses to do good when he can do very, very detrimental things, especially, you know, he has a lot of influence, so he could do some things that could really hurt the youth of today. Instead, what does he do? He motivates them to do good in the world. He motivates them to help other people. He motivates them to look beyond themselves and actually care about what happens to other people in the world and not just in their own country. Now, you'll see that MrBeast got a lot of backlash for this video, and the sad reality of that is that's how news works, right? In the end, this is a world of money. And how do news organizations make money? Funny enough, the same way YouTubers do. Clicks. So when you go watch a YouTuber's video, there are ads that pop up. You see that. They can get sponsorships if they have a lot of views. Government organizations and not the government organizations, but the news channels, a lot of them which are government organizations, make money in the same exact way. Now, if they're government funded, usually they're very for lack of a better term, unknowledgeable with their finances, but they also want to make money. They want to look like, oh, look, we have a bottom line. We're paying a certain amount of money. We're making sponsorships. We have deals. We're advertising. But in the end, that's all they want. And journalists themselves, when they want to spread in the world, they have to get news. So when you see Mr. Beast do a good thing, if you want clicks, what do? Kind of what I did in this video. I asked you a question. Was he good or bad? Now, we live in a world nowadays where people will only read the headline. So it could be that all these stories that were posted about him being a narcissist didn't actually have that. That was just kind of the hook, the title. But we live in a world that has become so uneducated, so surface level, so superficial that people just don't want to know. People don't really care, right? They just want to be the devil's advocate. They think they're something special when they fight what's good. But the reality of it, Mr. Beast's a great person. And I say that with the utmost knowledge of the kind of people influencers can be. Now, I've worked with influencers that actively try to manipulate and grow their audiences, and we typically advise heavily against that. Mr. Beast doesn't want to do that. He's already making a lot of money. He doesn't care anymore. He lives out of his studio. He has a passion for this. And the fact that some people would fight against him and would try to call him out and even cancel him, stupidly enough, is a disgrace. And it shows you the kind of people that there are. And finally, I say this. When you're a weak person, a person that can't really do much, provides minimal value to the world, you try to bring other people down. So what can we learn from this? If you feel like when you see Mr. Beast do something good or anyone else, and you're not immediately happy, you need to look within. Why are you not happy that over 1,000 people got their vision back? How does that not bring happiness to you? Right? These people were living with illnesses that were impairing their lives, and now you see them smile, even if it was narcissistic. How does that not make you happy? If you have a narcissist and that narcissist is helping out people, why is that a bad thing? Does it even make sense? Let's go to that question. However, if you're living fairly resentful and sad life, that is typically the course you'll go. And that's why it's important to make yourself stronger. Focus on your feelings. Why do you feel this way? Why does it hurt? Let's say it was narcissistic. Let's say it was all for money. Why do you care? Why is that relevant? Mr. Beast helped people, and that's all that matters. As long as people are being helped and no one's being manipulated into it, that's good. It's always going to be good, and it always will be good. And what you think about it won't change it. I hope I've answered the question. Have a good one, guys. Bye now.